Uh, my name is Norman Sabin. I'm actually in electronics and computer engineering technology with a robotics and automation emphasis right now, but I'll be graduating from that this December. And then I just got a scholarship to do the 4 years, so I'll be doing that as electronics and computer engineering technology with a Bachelor of Science. This is a bunch of projects that we do in IEEE. This is a solar-powered circuit controlling this motor here. Now, Rankin's more the solar guy, but I don't know exactly how this light bulb is powering this solar panel right here, but what it's supposed to do with this RC circuit down here, I do know analog, is with the RC circuit, with the resistor and capacitor, and with the transistor switching them, it's supposed to generate a pulse to the motor at 1 hertz frequency, but the distance between the marbles is about 60, so it'll drop one every minute, and then it goes down. And this was actually a build kit. The laser cutout wood came, and we just glued it together. We're more the electronics base, you know what I mean? We're not laser cutters.
Where's your marbles? Did you lose your marbles?
Like I'm saying, this light bulb is not as powerful as the sun, and like I said, it happens every minute. So
Oh, there's the marble. I see it in there.
yeah, you got to be patient.
I'm not patient.
Yeah, I know you're.
Okay, we're watching it. Here it comes.
no.
One more. Oh, there it goes.
So
Okay.
and then so basically, like, this club, IEEE, stands for Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, but we're an umbrella over the college. Like, we have mechatronics kids in here, we have engineering design kids for, like, they like to do 3D printer stuff, but they have a lot nicer 3D printers. Mechatronics kid was helping us with this gearbox. Actually, the kid gave us the wrong parts, so he went in there and fixed everything up. But it's run off a Mega 328 microchip. Have you ever messed with our Arduinos before?
Sorry?
Have you ever messed with Arduinos before?
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, basically, it's this Mega 328 chip that Arduino uses, but there's spin-offs like Redboard. Like, as you see, this is an Arduino. It's a SparkFun Redboard, and their software actually runs off it too. But they don't care because they just want to open source everything. So like a lot, their software is free to download, and they still let other companies use it. Basically, this is a screenshot of the desktop when I uploaded this Blink program to this Arduino right here. So you know that you basically just put it in, and then you tell what inputs and from what inputs you want to have the outputs, and this is a actual default program that they have, and I just uploaded it real quick to show that we have this LED blinking, but it's telling pin 13 to give out a high signal for 1,000 milliseconds, which once you come here, you're going to be having to go from 60 hertz and frequency and yada 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 to milliseconds and 1,000 seconds, and actually get human eyes to be able to see it. Like, I wish you could just put 1 second in here, but you have to learn that you have to put 1,000 in there because it's 1,000 milliseconds, which will equal 1 second for the human to see. And then there's a delay in between to make sure that nothing goes wrong. You put a little delay in there so the board actually doesn't mess up. But and then it has a low putting out for another 1,000 seconds, and it just has it in a loop, keep going through. And there you go, you have your LED. And there's a little 9-volt battery in here just powering it. And this is a robot that we built for actually last year's Halloween party. We had a remote control. You can control it to go through a maze, and if the kids got it through the maze, then they got a candy bar. And we actually 3D printed this whole housing with our 3D printer here. And we have a bunch of spools of plastic, but I didn't get it out yet. And like I said, IEEE, we know that it takes a lot of, like, especially for me, like, I want to join every club and everything and do this and do that and get really involved, but I'm in a major that takes a lot of time and dedication, but I love it to death. And the IEEE, they just meet at Tuesday at 3:30 and just do whatever. They have group club-funded projects, so if you have an idea, we'll fund it. If you don't have the money, then you can actually finally do it. Like, I didn't have a lot of money, but like, they're like, hey, you can buy this and we'll pay for it. I'm like, that's sweet, I'll do that. So all this stuff, except for this, I bought this with a little bit of scholarship money that I got last year. Those are my quadcopters, so you just hang out and mess with quadcopters, but you get really frustrated because you want to go to a club, but it meets, this one meets 2 times a week, this one meets for 3 hours one day, and yada 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 and all this other thing. But you want to have something on your resume because they keep telling you have extracurricular on your resume, have extracurricular on your resume, but it's because a lot of kids in this major are really shut in and like they just want to be with your computer all day, which is really fun, but it is good to have something on your resume. So we're here Tuesdays at 3:30, and we meet from 3:30 to 4:30 or till 5, whenever we just feel like getting out.
So what about job prospects? What have you found so far? Right, you were...
Well, I went to a couple interviews and they asked me what's this IEEE. I'm like, well, I was a member for so long, and then they needed someone to step up and be a vice president, so I was vice president for a little bit, and it really showed that I had some leadership skills, so like that happened. But just being a member would be saying something that you have like some kind of social skills.
Right, but like, we have a company, Global Foundries, that we're ready to offer you a
Yeah, they
position.
want to actually hire me right now with the RO just to go up there to be manufacturing technician for semiconductors like this, these Mega 328 chips for Intel, AMD, Apple, IBM especially just gave them like $1 billion to build this new shop, and but I have to do this 4-year now, so they're like, that's awesome, get it out of the way, dude. But that's what they do. They make these things up here because companies, they don't want to build them anymore or house the building themselves anymore, because building it takes so much. They just want to be like Google and just like have a bunch of ideas and then get paid for the ideas. So that's where Global Foundries comes in, and they're like, we got all the stuff for building stuff. You just give us your top secret stuff and we'll not let it get out, and we'll build it for you. And it's working, and that's where the future's going and stuff like that. So that's gonna be lit. But right now, this is what we're working on, this robot right here. Like I said, the mechatronics kid helped us with the problem we had with the gearbox, and that was awesome because like that's what they do over there, mechatronics. And we're teaching him with how to process, or how to program the processor. But right now we just have a full speed test. I told the kids to rewire it so it goes the right way. It's actually supposed to go this way, but like I said, they probably were like, oh, I gotta go do this real quick. So, but it'll take 5 seconds to switch up the wire. But we're trying to get it to work off the WASD controls on the computer, and get to go left, right, and whatnot. The axle was actually a solid axle all the way through, so it wouldn't have been able to turn. But the mechatronics guy hooked us up with separated axle, so that'll be lit. And then that, once we get that going, then Radio Shack is actually going out of business up the street. So I was thinking about buying one of those really rough controllers that they have, so maybe interface that with this.
Oh,
and then
we're gonna get you started.
oh yeah, every year we compete in a competition against other schools. Like last year we were at Cleveland State University, and I was actually up in this building and doing the brown bag competition. But there's 3 competitions. There's a micro mouse competition where you learn how to program something like this to go through a maze, and whoever gets to the cheese first wins. But I did the brown bag competition because I like breadboarding and stuff like that. And I didn't really, and it's on the scene thing, and I didn't have the micro mouse built up yet. I'm actually thinking about doing that this year. But and then if you can actually see from my pictures that the stuff that we were using is the same stuff that they have in these labs here.
See everything?
Only they have a digital oscilloscope, which we have some digital oscilloscopes, but you are given a bunch of chips in a brown bag, and then you're given an application that you're supposed to build. And last year my competition, or my scenario was, I'm building Kanye West's light show. So it was really just 2 deep flip-flops control or holding one bit to go back and forth, and that was actually my project or my lab for my freshman year, for my end of my freshman year digital class, and only this time they wanted us to make it through a bunch of different gates like NAND and NOR gates and whatnot like that. They didn't just give us flip-flops like they did in the lab, so that was pretty lit. And then at the end here I took a bunch of pictures. I was actually working here with Sean, and actually now I go to Penn College. Like if you Google my name, like you just get all these pictures of me like doing competition. I don't even know these people took pictures of me. Like I'm at an IEEE, I'm at open house. They got all these ranking and puts me on the map. Like the school puts me on the map. Like I'm just really out there doing stuff, and we're competing against Syracuse and Penn State Harrisburg and a bunch of different schools were up there. And actually where I was, particularly with the oscilloscopes and everything, I was in this up here in this building, so that was really fun. But yeah, so we have a bunch of engineering design kids too that like just want to mess with the 3D printer, but they have actually nicer 3D printers. I was actually, for my scholarship, I had to do a workshop, and they just took me over to their 3D printers over there in the Cal, and it's over there. It's just wild. But this is a typical toolbox for our major. You're gonna have to have, you know, your probes for probing your breadboards and making sure that everything's working. Soldering iron, screwdriver. These wire strippers, man. It's just bang, bang. It's like when I worked at Frito-Lay with the automation. You want to have a 3/8 right there, or 7/8, and it was just like you want to have these here.
Yes, talk about your internship at Frito-Lay. That was
when I first started here. I had a pair of cheap wire strippers, and it's just like, but these are actually the ones they give you at the school store. And my buddy gave me these like my second semester, and these things are just like, and you just adjust them right here. It's just like, but yeah.
So you were actually at Pepsi, right, for the summer?
Oh, I was at Frito-Lay. It's owned by PepsiCo, and on my check it said PepsiCo on it. But up the street, actually that street, if you go all the way up and start going, you go through this really desolate area, and then there's this little bunch of businesses, industrial area. Decided to make a bunch of businesses there, and it's called Reach Road, and they had me, are you the local or?
No, we're from Bethlehem.
So it's called Reach Road, and I ride my bike everywhere, so I rode my bike up there every summer, and they had me do an internship up there. They came to the career fair. I talked to them. They're like, "You're gonna want to fill this out." I filled it out, and then they had me be an automation tech up there at Frito-Lay, and they had a bunch of machines. And this was just with the robotics and automation degree, and they had a bunch of machines that used everything that they taught us in the robotics and automation, like NPN, PNP sensors, inductive, through beam sensors, servo motors everywhere, just servos. And I was like, oh man, inductive motors, these big, huge inductive motors for controlling, making the chips and whatnot. But and then they had these really old PLCs running it all, but they didn't have me running any of the PLCs. Just if like they had me, if the sensors were broken on these big, huge robotic auto case pack makers, they call them, it boxes up all the chips for you. If anything was broken on that, yo Norm, come down, we got this, and I'm like, all right, and then fix it. And they gave me all the printouts, all the schematics for everything and how to wire it up, and it was really fun.
Great experience.
Yeah. So I put that on my.
Yeah. Good. Thank you, Norm. Good job.